Hey everybody, what is going on? How are you guys doing today? My name is Shadow of Resho Gaming, and I am here today to bring you the new community choice. Last time we asked you guys what your favorite WarioWare game is, and today I have those results for you. Alright, kicking things off pretty strong in number 5, we have WarioWare Inc. Now, WarioWare Inc., I combined Mega Party Games and Mega Micro Games because essentially Mega Micro Games was the first WarioWare game on the Game Boy Advance, and eventually it got ported to the GameCube in 2004. The original WarioWare was really awesome. It was the first one in the series and it introduced kind of the new element of gameplay with like 5 to 10 seconds a round, and it was pretty much just survive as long as you could. If you couldn't finish the task in a certain amount of time, you were penalized, and eventually it got faster and faster, and it got harder and harder to do. Now with Mega Party Games, that kind of turned into a whole multiplayer game, and it was more focused on multiplayer. It still had a lot of cool micro games from the original, and some new ones mixed in, so it's a win-win. I'm kind of sad to see this game kind of near the bottom, but some of the other games did deserve it a little bit more. Speaking of those other games, coming in at number 4, we have WarioWare Touched at 13% of the votes. WarioWare Touched was the first addition to the DS family of WarioWare games. It still has all the wacky and zany humors as the other ones, but it's on the DS, so you can take it on the go and do whatever. And unlike the other games in this series, this game focused more on using the stylus to win the micro games, and occasionally using the microphone. So instead of like pressing buttons to do things or using the D-pad, you had to actually use the stylus to move crap around or draw things, or any other random crap really. Now I don't know about if it was just me or if it was the game's problem. It's probably my problem. But sometimes I found that the stylus was a little bit unresponsive, but I would still definitely recommend it. It's still a really fun game and a great addition to the series. And coming in at number 3, we have the newest addition to the WarioWare series, Game & Wario, with 16% of the votes. Game & Wario is pretty different than the others in the series. This game focuses more on actual mini-games than micro-games, which isn't a bad thing, it's just different. And of course, it takes off of the Game & Watch series, hence the title. I personally didn't have a lot of problems with this game, but I know some people didn't like it just because of the fact that it's more based around mini-games instead of micro-games. But some of the mini-games are actually really fun, and it's a lot of fun if you play the multiplayer ones. But the only bad thing is there's not really a lot of mini-games, which is kind of why I think it's not at the number 1 spot, but it still did pretty good coming in at number 3. And coming in at number 2, my personal favorite game in the series, WarioWare DIY, or WarioWare Do-It-Yourself, with 20% of the votes. WarioWare DIY was personally one of my favorites in the entire series. Basically, you can make your own micro games. It's really cool. The whole system works great. It's really simple to understand. They walk you through the whole process. Of course, you can also download other people's games, or you can share your own that you've made. You can share them with your friends, and it's really freaking cool. You can also make it like your own little comic strips if you want, using some of the stickers that you got throughout the game. And you can share those as well. There's music. There's just a whole lot of stuff you can share in this game. This game was just really cool to me because basically it's your game. You can do whatever you want with it, or you can share whatever you want, you can make whatever you want. It's just a really awesome addition to WarioWare, and I wish some of the other series would have done it too, and it would have been really cool to see it on the Wii or the Wii U, so maybe hopefully the next one will give you DIY capabilities. That would be pretty awesome. And finally, coming in at number 1 with a whopping 40% of the votes, we have WarioWare Smooth Moves. WarioWare Smooth Moves is the Wii edition of the series. There's tons of different micro games you can play, and there's multiplayer that you can play with your friends. It is just amazing. My personal favorite part of the game is there's like little instructions that show you how to play with the Wii remote, and they're just the funniest things. And of course, the Wii remote actually works amazing. The motion controls are really responsive, and it works very well. There's not a lot of things you can say terrible about this game. It's really cool. The only thing that would have made this better if it had DIY capabilities, am I right? Alright, and moving on to next week's question, we have, what is your favorite Yoshi game? Yoshi, of course, is Mario's awesome dinosaur sidekick, and he doesn't have a ton of games, but he has a few really awesome ones. There are a lot of really awesome Yoshi games out there, so go ahead and leave a comment below saying what your favorite Yoshi game is. I'll leave a list down in the description below if you need to know any of the ones that are available to pick. Also, even though Yoshi's Woolly World is not out yet, I think I'm gonna go ahead and still count it. If you guys are hyped enough about this game, go ahead and vote for it. If you want it in the top 5, I will not blame you for it. Go ahead and vote for it. It's all on you. If you want to make it number 1, I haven't even seen it yet, but go ahead and go for it. Also, just as a little side note, I'm going to start opening community choice questions up to you guys. If you guys have an awesome idea for a community choice question, there is going to be a poll in the description below that you can click the link to and write in a question that you would like to see the community vote for. And you know, if it's good enough, maybe I'll use it in the next community choice. You never know. That will also be in the description. So if you ever have a question that you think is a really good idea, go ahead and just leave it there and I will read through all of them and I'll let you know if I ever use it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Community Choice. It was a really awesome episode. Make sure to subscribe to NinBuzz if you have not already and follow them on Twitter. And then also you can subscribe to me on YouTube and follow me on Twitter, because if you haven't yet, you're crazy, crazy, crazy. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share this video with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Community Choice.